Regrettably, members, there is no stronger taboo in our society today than talking about race matters. Yet I must tell you with all sincerity that addressing racism has always been a priority for me. Now, this resolution is merely designed to shine a light on the racist tenets that have consistently flowed from Charles Darwin's theory of evolution taught in Louisiana's public school system. I'm not asking you to take evolution out of the schools. I am merely asking the legislature, the State Department of Education, the Board of Regents, and the state university systems that they be made aware that Darwin promoted the justification of racism in his definitive works on the origin of species by means of natural selection, or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life and the descent of man. I believe historically this greatly worsened racist practices in our society. The belief in superior versus inferior races should not be nurtured, nor should it be reinforced in our classrooms. Now, I certainly understand that racism was in effect before Darwin. This has never been denied. Yet he was the originator of a scientific justification for racism, as well as giving wings to modern racism. In Darwin's book, The Descent of Man, he says, at some future period, not very distant, the civilized races of man will almost certainly exterminate and replace throughout the world the savage races. At the same time, the anthropomorphous apes will no doubt be exterminated. The break will then be rendered wider, for it will intervene between man in a more civilized state, as we may hope, than the Caucasian, and some ape as low as a baboon, instead of as at present between the Negro or Australian and the gorilla. We do not condone the Darwinistic racist ideology, and that instead we would like to promote the commonalities that exist between you and I. And then merely we want to give our students, in fact, an opportunity to do critical thinking in the classroom.
This resolution can set a tone, a very favorable tone, for America to begin, as Sharon Broome just said, critically examining this issue of race. We encourage this committee to provide for the critical analysis that goes hand in hand with the educational process. You know, if you tell a person only part of something, you indoctrinate them. If you tell them everything and allow them to draw their own conclusions, you're educating them.
If you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. If you make a man think he is justly an outcast, you do not have to order him to the back door. He will go without being told. And if there is no back door, his very nature would demand one. I know a lot of people who think like this. My grandmother cried because she was told this as a young black woman, that you'll never be equal. You'll always be inferior.
The enforced teaching of Darwinism as the only theory for the origin of life has continually led to the restricting of any ideas or theories to the contrary. Darwin devoted the entire last chapter of his book to a critique of his own theory. His criticism is still valid today. We need to give children the ability to evaluate based on all of the information and awareness of the racism that is inherent in this theory.
I like what this resolution has to say, that racial differences are a trivial portion of the differences among us, and that we deplore and condemn and reject all instances and ideologies of racism. This resolution is bringing to the forefront and to our awareness some things that we had not formerly known of, and I think our children have a right to know this.
What we're doing is we're expressing a belief. We're taking a position on the writings of Charles Darwin, and we are recommending to the House of Representatives as a whole that they share the belief that this committee has. So, I mean, this is more than just an opinion. It's an expression of belief, and it's an expression of agreement with all of the whereases that are contained in this resolution.
We're talking about a statement from this body
as a legislature, a representative body of the 4.3 million people of this state.
My desire is to promote the commonalities that exist between all of us. And because I know that what we have in this resolution is not misguided information, but information that we have thoroughly researched. For example, Harvard University's Stephen J. Gould wrote, biological arguments for racism may have been common before 1859, but they increased by orders of magnitude following the acceptance of evolutionary theory. I want to hold up a picture to you. It talks about the civil rights era bombing trial. The trial is going on right now. The people who were responsible for this were the Ku Klux Klan. These people built their ideology on Darwinistic inferior superiority thinking. Certainly, I am aware that Darwin was not the originator of racism, but indeed his teachings and his ideology is used in modern racism today. And I agree with Representative Downer. A resolution is a statement. We will be making a statement that we deplore ideology racism and that we want to encourage the commonalities that exist among people groups and the weaknesses perhaps in this theory, and offer an opportunity for our classrooms to do critical thinking and analysis. It is a statement, and I believe deep in my heart that each and every one of you share the same sentiments that I do. I thank you for your time, and I ask you for your support.
Representative Broome has said, I think we all share the views that she has expressed, and we're looking for unity, and I think that this resolution will go a long way towards promoting unity and commonality. On the basis of that, I urge that we send this resolution out with a favorable vote.
The resolution does pass 9-5.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.